Ah,
sir.
okay. Sa ngalan sa Amahan, sa Anak, sa Diyos Espiritu Santo. Amen. O langit man na mong amahan, Diyos nga labing gamahanan, nangamuyo kanimo, labi na karon sa among panginahanglan sa kalisdanan nga among nasa gubang karon Ginoo. Tabangi kami nga malampasan namo tanang pagsuway, ug imo kaming lig-unon sa tanan nga mga kadaot ug kasakit uban nas mga katalagman nga among mga experience ug na-experience na Ginoo. Tuguti unta nga magmalampuson kami sa among mga plano sa among kinabuhi, inubanan sa among pamilya, inubanan sa among mga mahal sa kinabuhi, inubanan sa among mga kauban o mga instructor. Ginoo, panalangini kaning hapuna nga kami magauban o magasintro ang imong ngalan diha sa imong yaon mong ngalan ug pulong. Kini among gipangayo pinagi ni Kristo among Ginoo. Amen. Sa ngalan sa Amahan, sa Anak, sa Diyos Espiritu Santo. Amen. Once again, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Am I loud and clear?
Sir.
Okay, good afternoon, ma'am. Once again,
Good afternoon.
it is my honor and privilege to uh, acknowledge, no, and introduce our guest speaker this afternoon, Ma'am Rose, Miss na lang ato ibutang, Miss Rose Avila, no?
Maria Rosario.
Maria Rosario day. Ma'am Rose na lang para kuan.
O sige, para dali.
Maria Rosario Avila, no? Tagagiwan ni siya before, but then to karon ni siya nagpuyo sa dapit sa iyang bana, wherein siya po dito nagtrabaho, no? Mag-serve po dito sa ilang eskwelahan. Then aside from that, bisan og busy kay na siya dito, minghatag siya og time nga makiguban ka nato, no? Since siya usa man pud ka drafting instructor pud sa PIT, no? Then alumna po ni siya diri sa PIT. So once again, dili na lang ko magdugay. I'm proudly present to you our guest speaker this afternoon, Ma'am Maria Rosario Rose Avila. Ma'am, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. So,
Good afternoon again,
ano po man? Yes, good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon, ma'am.
So, yes, good afternoon, everyone. So, I'm honored to have been invited by your Sir Wendell Villas, no?
Yes, ma'am.
We are colleagues before in PIT, so I worked there for 3 years as part-time instructor before I shifted to Dep-Ed. No, usa sa reason kay the transition of the K to 12, no? So wala man to niabot og 25 ka buok ang nag-enroll, so that's the reason why wala to na ninyo akong contract, but at the same time that time once ako sa Dep-Ed, mo man jud nakasagaran mga part-timers mag-apply sa Dep-Ed. Unfortunately na nasulod ko dayon sa Dep-Ed sad. Kay that time sad naka-take ako board na timing lang gyud sa time, and then naman may gamay nga business diri, so kinahanglan diri jud ko, something like that, no? So, it was said that you are there where you are needed the most, but who knows, one day mobalik ka sa tadiha
Yes,
walang
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
takaybaw
Kuhon, ma'am.
takaybaw. And then, well, so an aton topic, no, it's really actually about the current trend in industry. But anyway, I will just address you class na lang, ha. So, and mas mayon ta no face to face, but of course because of this pandemic we're not going to do that because we have restrictions. We all know that for our own safety, no. So mas mayon ta to face to face. But anyway, we have slides, and then that's all. Actually, our topic today is very common. You already live with it, and then this is just you know, to give us awareness on what's happening to us right now and in the industry. And I'm sure you already have the views and the insights about these things because, of course, eskwela man mo. So I know this has been tackled by your professors there in PIT. Okay? So let me share my screen to you. So can you see it?
Yes,
Hello?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
Yes,
okay.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So we are going to talk about the current trend in industry or the industrial technology. Actually, class, there's a lot of current trends in industry. If you try to Google, you try to search in the Google, no? But it always boils down to these five. And then actually there's still a lot more. So it's just repeating itself, no? So first, actually, as I've said earlier, you are already familiar with this because you learned to live with this already, and then maybe it is also on time for your OGT that you need to know this one, or maybe this is just a refresher to your end. No, so here are the five technology trends you need to know to work in any industry. So based on the pictures, can you see there? No, so I know you are all familiar with the industry, with the technology right now, and then whether you like it or not, when you're going to have your OGT, makasalamuha din sila nimo ng mga technology trends. First, here we go. So, if you've been following the news on exciting tech trends like artificial intelligence, then you're probably aware. So that's artificial intelligence. So that's what we call AI, di ba? So then you're probably aware that your emerging technologies are changing the way we work and interact with others. So by the word itself, artificial intelligence, you already have that idea na artificial siya. So, ang original, unsa man di ay. Of course, it's our brain. And so, when we say artificial, it's the computer, it's the laptops, or cell phones like that. Diba? So, in fact, with things like machine learning and touch commerce becoming increasingly popular across every industry, from banking to healthcare, technology is revolutionizing the way we do business and making high-tech approaches an integral parts of our lives. I know makarelate mo na tanan. So we can all relate on this. So first we have here the Internet of Things. So are you familiar with this? I think you have your computer classes. So I know your professors have already mentioned this to you. So Internet of Things, that is IoT. So one of the biggest tech trends to emerge in recent years in the Internet of Things. So all this is a perfect combination po no, of physical and digital worlds. No? So all technological devices can be connected to the internet. Okay, we all know that already. So how will this impact you? So it depends on your industry. Of course, we have your major here of drafting, electronics, foods, electricity. We have also power plant and machine shop. So it will always depend on the industry you were in. So how it's affecting industries. So it changed the way they do business. So pay-per-use models are increasingly popular. Before class, we are always having this hard time to get into the internet because we have to subscribe like that, diba? So but now, diba, this paper use is the opposite of subscription. No, we can no longer just subscribe to have internet access. We can also have um, this prepaid, di ba? It's like maybe you're using it right now while we're having our webinar right now. So it's not actually for industries also, but you can already relate this because you yourself are using it already, this internet of things. Not just that, no, not just your personal, but a lot more things. Like for this example, okay, if you have your cell phone, you can connect that to your house, that house there over there, that one, that is a smart house. No, there is even a smart dog. It was even controlled even if you're not at home. And that you have the auto drive, and then you have your watch can be connected to your even your coffee maker, your refrigerator, your air conditioning, and even in the healthcare it can be used. No, you need not go back to your house to turn off the lights, something like that. You even have the solar panels there, the drone. Okay, so all of us can relate these things on our personal and even on big companies. You're going to work, you're going to meet these things, and it is very important na dili mo mga maignorante ani nga mga things. So you have to learn these things also because most of the big companies are using this technology, no? Are using this technology basin ma-assign ka dito unsa nya dili ka kahibaw. Okay? But anyway, you'll always be briefed on these things. And then next, we have machine learning. So I don't know if you are familiar with machine learning, but this is so very common because you're always using this, even in the social media platforms, no? Essentially, a computer's ability to learn on its own by analyzing data and tracking repeating patterns. So by the word itself, repeating patterns, what is that? So, social media platforms use machine learning to get a better understanding on how you're connected with those in your social network. Okay, so what does the machine do here? So they analyze your likes, shares, and comments and prioritizing content from your closest connections, serving you that content first. Okay, for example, sa atong personal, for example, you can notice that on your Facebook account when you open your account, and then those people that those friends in Facebook that you always like, or you put a heart, pinupusuan, and then or you are always talking, siya ang mo pop out first, no? That technology is machine learning because the machine knows, the application knows that you are interested about that person. And right now, Facebook always even notify you if that person posts a picture, even if you don't tell Facebook to inform you every now and then. Diba? So I think, example, kana inyong mga crush, magsige man mong stalk. So, mauna, mag-una-una, pirmi diha ang inyong kuan sa inyong my days, layo makitaan pirmi. Kaya sige man kag stalk, stalker man ka. So that is actually machine learning. No? So, how it's affecting industries? Of course, they reshape the way business interact with their customers in a big way by helping them anticipate and meet customer needs more easily. Of course, ma-learn nila. So, for example, on their account, they have website or they have Facebook page, and then business industries, magbutang sila dito sila mga products, and then they know which product is in demand. No, not just actually big industries, even to yourself. Because you know what, last one of the destinies, no, one of the tracks of the BSIT students is entrepreneurship. No, dili man mo ingon nga you're just a plain worker in the future. There is really a possibility that you get into business like Sir Wendell. Nanay business si Sir Wendell and also myself, no? So we are dili na nang tamulay yung example. Nga na ni Sir Wendell, kana Sir Wendell na siya mga business diha. Ako sad na sa business dere. No? So it is very, di ba, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Ako
Diba?
lang gi-off.
That's true.
Yes, ma'am. Ako lang gi-off ang akong mic, ma'am, ha. Naminaw rin ko ni ma'am kay namo ko nag-construct na rin sa akong duol, ma'am. Then
Oh,
marag
okay.
marag mabati gali siguro ninyo sa inyo magtingog nga.
Wala, sir.
Ako lang
Okay ra
gi-off.
kaayo.
Ako lang gi-off, ma'am. Naminaw lang ko.
Siya na siya dagang panday.
Oo.
Yes.
Dahil sa
Okay.
Luyo, actually, ang kuan man gud karon, ma'am, kato bitang food technology nga building, ma'am.
Oo.
Under construction man siya, actually.
Ikay nagkuan diha.
Dili, ma'am,
Supervise.
naay kuan, naay, so na may
Contractor.
contractor, oo na. Dahil naman ko diri sa pink nga building bitaw, ma'am, na nabutang na ko diri, wala na ko dito sa akong room sa taas ba.
Ayun na, may na diha.
O nya
May na
renovate man siya nya mo nga nako diri nya. Ako lang gipaw nga akong mic para dili kay mabati. Hasta ang kuan.
Sila po mga utan sa ilang gipaw ilang mic na babakaan na sila diha ka. Okay.
Kuan na sila, ma'am,
But anyway,
naminaw na sila, ma'am.
Naa pa, ma'am.
Oh,
Dami
very,
na rami, ma'am.
very good.
Di na rami naman ko iro dire.
Oh, very good. Sige, okay ra nako.
Maginhainay ra po na sila kuso-kuso, ma'am.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
Okay, ma'am,
That's
sige,
good.
ma'am.
Okay ba man ko idako na sila. I know they know what to do.
Mao gid, ma'am.
Okay, for their own benefit siya. So, muna siya ay akong giset example na I know na dili man mo forever na workers, mga BSIT are industrious
Mao gid, ma'am.
students. No? So, they're very industrious students. So, dili mo kontento na ana lang mo, mag-worker lang mo, plain worker. You want someday you're going to venture into business also. So there is really need for you to do this, no? So I know bisan karon you are entrepreneurship, you're into entrepreneurship already, especially kung mag-post mo dihag sa Facebook na, oh, I have a product here, want to kuan, no? So many, you have many likes. So that is what machine learning is all about. So like this one, examples, no? Daghan na kaay siya, broad na kaay siya og um, iyahang perimeter murag broad na jud siya kay sa fashion industry, targeted email, CV in agriculture, Q&A based platforms. This is also used in our schools na, and who's going to win if there's more likes, something like that. So ranking on social media, kung kinsay pinakadaghan heart, kinsay dagag share, something like that. No, it even predicting an illness, no, in even self-driving cars, no. So we will tell you self-driving cars, for example, ang imong mga Ford karon muhunong lang siya kalit, makadetect siya na danger, no, something like that. So that is actually machine learning. Mga bright na karon ang atong mga machine. So another here, virtual reality. So I think most of you are very aware of this already, and you have seen the movie virtual reality, or if not, you have heard this one. So by the word itself, virtual reality. So virtual, nakita nimo, and then reality. So that is called VR. So has been around since 1950s, no, 1950s, pero wala pa kayo na. It's not within our grasp here in the Philippines because of course, as we know, economically, the government cannot finance siguro, no, by that time pa. So recent improvements to both hardware and programming and effects are going to be felt across almost every industry from retail to education. So how it's affecting industries? So it affects companies across the board as they adopt the technology to help them engage, no, from that word engage customers more effectively and optimize their sales and marketing efforts. No, so there is a need, of course, there's a need for your customer to go there to see your product, but then they want to experience about your product. So that is where the virtual reality is injected. So potentially useful tool for learning and is increasingly being adopted by educational organizations. So kanang, like for example, kanang sa inyong mga major karon, no, wala pa siguro sa PIT, it's not been there in PIT yet, but for sure one day, or I don't know if you have the technology already there, the virtual reality. No, I think the simulation in the nautical courses, do they have this one?
Yes,
No,
ma'am. Na,
the
ma'am.
virtual, they already have this one, the simulation, parang nasa tinuod nga barko, no.
Yes, ma'am. Na, ma'am.
So ano sila aning gadget, sir, nga kanang murag isud nila ang mata. Ano ni sila ani?
Nasa Militor, ma'am, sa second floor sa nautical building.
No, na good. So see?
Ah,
So it's there already. So if you can see here, the physicians, no, from other fields, no, they have the heart here. So murag nakakita jud sila mga medical students siguro ni. So if their professor would like them to experience seeing a real heart, so it is possible right now. So at the right side, upper right side, can see there, no, murag naa siya diha, it's like nag-repair baka ni siya, or maybe there's a fire, something like that. Before, this was only common on games, no, virtual reality. And then here, this is maybe about chemistry, and then that girl is seeing something. Of course, she's the only one who sees it. And here below, especially you, no, sa mga BSIT, I know you have all of you have drawing subjects, no. So it could be a machine, but there, that is buildings, no. These are buildings over there, no, na yung mga floor plans sa yung luyo. So if you turn back, makita siya sa mga floor plans, and it's like he can touch it, and then he can explore every parts of that miniature building. When you say miniature, kanang buildings nga gipagamay, and mga drafting makarelate sila ana. And not just drafting, I know you all have drawing subjects, right? So makarelate mo ana for sure. We don't know, you will go to Dubai, or Saudi. I also have my colleagues there in my previous work because I worked in the furniture company for 15 years in Cebu before I shifted to teaching profession there in PIT. So they are very updated, and actually I was also keeping in touch with them on what's new on the trend, especially in drafting area. But anyway, kamo pwede gihapon mo all around pwede kay I know those colleagues that I have there. You know, you are very lucky enough because mag fourth year pa mo, di ba? Katong duha nga maayo man kay, as I've said, industrious man kay ni mga industrial technology before mag-offer man na ang BSIT of 2 years course only. Imagine those two colleagues that I have there in Saudi and Iraq, and I no, not Iraq, Saudi and Dubai, no? Actually, class, they are associates, no? 2 years na sila, and you can see how successful they are right now. Okay? So, not just drafting students, dili lang drafting students, just as long nga kahit you have an idea about drawings, no? Kay kamuntanan makamit man jud mo ana, not just drafting students. Dapat we will learn about that later on. Okay, so that is virtual reality. Another, touch commerce. So what is touch commerce? So being able to buy anything you want in the touch of a finger. So we can remember our high school teachers sa komersyo, sa mga komersyo, sentro ng komersyo ang mga syudad, something like that, di ba? So touch commerce. So I know, especially the girls, this is very, very relevant to them. No, merging touchscreen technology with one-click shopping. Touch commerce allows consumers to buy products easily from their phone. So, kinsa may wala kailag Lazada dire o Shopee. Okay? So, first, link the payment information to a general account and enabling the feature. Okay, mo touch ka sa screen mo, musod ka sa Lazada, for example. Customers are able to buy everything from clothes to furniture with just a fingerprint. Diba? Kay touchscreen naman na itong mga Android ron. Okay? So how it's affecting industries. One of the biggest things to hit e-commerce in recent years with purchases of this type expected to increase by 150%. Imagine that. It's more than 100%. So this year alone, and retailers in almost every industry anticipating an increase in sales directly related to this new technology. So I know you are so familiar with Lazada, di ba? And then they even have this COD, which made it accessible to all of us bisan asa tanga sulok, no? So dili sa tamado kay COD man, we can only pay if we have the product already in our hands. So 150 kuno nag-increase ang mga sales product, especially this time of pandemic, class. You can observe that we just stayed at home, and then sukatong na mga kwarta diha, mupalit man jud, wa may lingaw, so magpindot-pindot sa cellphone. That is the touch commerce. So makapalit gyud ta because of this touch commerce technology that we have right now. So that is the example there, the touch commerce. Dili na sir na kaya na expand, kaya I know you know this already. So the cognitive technology. So what is cognitive technology? The same vein as machine learning and virtual reality, except that it's a broader concept. When we say broader, mas dako siya, no? So imagine these four technologies combined together, especially the natural language processing and speech recognition. If you can notice, class, mag-Google gani ka, you need not type sometimes, no? Kung kapuyan ka, you will select the microphone button, and then you say something. You say, what do you mean by exaggerated? Okay, so exaggerated, di ba? A robotic na, mutubag na ang Google if you were going to ask the particular meaning. So that is the cognitive technology. So combine these different technologies are able to automate and optimize a lot of tasks that were previously done by people, including certain aspects of accounting and analytics. Daghan. Even in the statistics, if you go on to research, you need not hire a technician, a statistician, I mean. No, because there are applications now that are related to statistics. Mag-compute lang siya iyaha. Okay? So how it's affecting industries, automated analysis of user data and experiences will be particularly useful for software companies hoping to scale. So unsa may pinaka big example for this? So actually class, you're always using this also. So here, examples of cognitive technology. Okay, the perfect example for this is that we have the web search, image search, event search, social computing, natural language processing. No, delete because when we go to Google website, we can say that can I find you can go to YouTube, 'di ba? And then you can see there they are dancing, it's moving. So that's another technology, and then another technology when you're hearing a sound, and another technology when you're having a social computing. You're going to see news, event search. So that's different technologies combined together. So nana siya sa Google search. So that's it. That is the example of cognitive technologies. So that's the fifth. So with emerging technologies, changing professional industries including banking, e-commerce, healthcare, and education, staying up to date on the latest trends will give you a better understanding of you as a more competitive candidate. Why is it talking about competitive candidate? No, it is good that before you go on to your OJT, you will be equipped with this information. No, so you'll say, oh, this is what they call the touch commerce. Of course, because you already been taught now. That is the machine learning. Okay, you'll be able to experience this, especially if you're going to have your OJT, and it is also said there that competitive candidate. When we say competitive candidate class, that you are competent with others. Because when you go on OJT, it's not that all of you came from PIT or from NLC or from your neighboring schools in Palumpon. No, it may be that some of your classmates are from Cebu and from Bohol or some other parts of Leyte. So, ikaw ang nagdala sa name sa PIT. So, you should be competitive enough. No? So, ayaw jud pagluya-luya during your OJT. Ayaw jud pagluya. If your boss says, hey, you do this, you always said, oh yes, I can do that, sir. Because I know, because of your being industrious, ang uban ana ma-absorb pa gani. No? Be informed na importante ang attitude, ang behavior nimo kung kuan ka sa imong field of work. That is very important. So best of all, this knowledge might open up new doors within your field and others. So that's it. So that is a reference. So 20 trends for 2020. So the year now is 2021, right? So 2020 is just 3 months away ago, right? So this is by Paul Wallbank. So now we're in the second decade of the 21st century. 21st century na kay 2020 na. So ato nang i-consume ang 21st century. Ato nang hubuson pero napatas 2020 karon. So business is accelerating as a combination of changes in technology and society come together. Changes no sa technology and the society, the needs of the society, ang atong mga needs, kita ang nabuo sa society. Some of these changes are global, such as the continued rise of China and Western world's aging. So why are they talking about aging? We'll talk about that later. So others affect us on a personal level. Of course, all of them will have a big impact on our businesses and the way we work. Some would be frightful about this. But anyway, this is just a prediction actually. And then actually, some of these are really happening already. And you know that. So many of these trends have been predicted for some time. You see, So is the availability of the cheap, almost free computing power that's delivering many of the promises made by technology over the last 30 years? These are worth examining more closely. So here are the top 20. So this has been predicted, class, and actually you can also feel that today that is already really happening. So first, the robots taking our jobs. So aren't you fearful about this reality? So probably the biggest change that is affecting our businesses is how machines are taking over tasks ranging from window cleaning to inventory management. So it means from giilugan na ta sa robots, no? From simple things to complex things. That's what it means. Anyone with a transaction-based job or business will be having a forced career change before the end of the decade. Agoy, before ko nun mahuman ni nga decade, or say decade, so that is 2020, so to 2030, when we say decade, that is 10 years, right? So maybe this is projected that on the year 2020, 30, so the robots are taking our jobs already. So this is something that we should think about, no, because of the rising of the technology. So there, you can see the pictures, right? So actually, I don't know if this gonna happen, but because of the rising technology, we really don't know. Okay. So the Internet of Machines, we talked a while ago, we talked about Internet of Things. So just like this, Internet of Machines, as you can see there, it's like the machines, they are talking to each other in just one touch of your finger, and then it's like everything has been taken care of. Those robots and computers, you see, those robots and computers are talking to each other, which speeds up business decisions and will strip layers of management from organizations. So it means to say that in the touch of your finger to your computer, you just say, "Give me the data of of the year 2019 files," then it will just pop out, right? Give me the files from you. It's like that. So we don't need a secretary anymore. A secretary, pagita akong mga files, something like that. But right now, it's just there, the top of your fingers. You will just click on it. The machine will actually show you what you wanted. Almost everything, but not all, of course. It's not all. Okay? Another trend for 2020, flatter organizations. So, a consequence of those faster decisions is the need for less management. No, because actually, class, if you're going to have a business, it's really complicated. No, manakit imong ulo, mga decision when you're handling people, and then you cannot really control their minds, and then some of them are very delinquent, and then some of them will just give you a lot of headaches, something like that. So some organizations, some business industries want to have flat organizations. So it means to say they may need few people in the organizations. So in our industry, in the industrial technology, so sometimes it's called a threat, but don't be afraid with it, because we are teaching you to be competitive workers. So that's the reason we have this topic right now, no? So you need not fear about this if you are competent enough. Again, your behavior will always tell your future. Okay? So organizations need to be flatter in order to process information faster, unless they want to risk nimble competitors seizing business opportunities. So they want to have a flat team. For example, here's the picture. As you can see there, so there are three, and then below the not all of them has its own or own members. As you can see, they are interconnected. These three on top are connected, and then the next to their level, these four are also connected to them, to all of these three. And then below them, they have two, four, six, eight members only, and then they are both connected to those higher to them. So there is now the participation of those who are rank low to them, no? So gamay na lang ilang ka istorya, dili na prato nang adi ko mo istorya na kay to under na siya ni ma'am kuan ngadto. Ay ayaw ko dili ko ana, ako lahi ang ako, dili na, they are all interconnected already. So that's what they call the flatarchy organizational structure. From the word flat, no, dili kayo daghan. So that's it. So a flat organization refers to an organization structure with few or no levels of management between management and staff level employees. The flat organization supervises employees less while promoting their increased involvement in the decision-making process. So if you are a worker, there is really need for you to work hard, to think of what is your job is, to be competitive. This is actually a threat for us, especially katong mga tapulan. No, those, dili ko ana, di ko ana. Ay, sige, di lang po mo apil, ana, kamo lang. You see, decision-making process ipa-involve na mo. What if they see you like that? So, it is very possible na takpangon mo. So, that is a sad story. Okay. Next, we have 3D printing. Hindi din na 3D printing. So, one of the most exciting and business-changing technologies is 3D printing while allowing you to print a coffee cup at your desk, help robots construct new buildings, and give a little boy a set of fingers. Okay. Look at that. So, that's 3D. No? It says printing. Dili printing at 2D lang, 2 dimension. I know you can relate to 2D printing. Kaya you usually do that at school. So 2-dimensional, when we say 2D, that is 2-dimensional. You can see the width and the height of an object. No, mo na siya gi-print. So it is flat. So when we say 3D printing, it's actually a thing that's being carved out. No, na siya volume, na siya depth. You can see the depth. So that is the example there. And actually, class, this is so true because my husband, we have a small furniture company here in Burauen, and then at the moment he is ordering actually that is a carving machine, no, a carving machine for furniture. The reason to that is because he always have headache with his carvers. So you see, those owners will resort to having machines because of the complexities of the work. Sometimes the machines is your only resort to have a clearer mind and maybe peace at work. You see? So that's the reason why we have to be competitive. We shouldn't be always complaining so that our boss wouldn't choose to have machines instead of us. Okay? So, but this actually is reality right now. Even here in Philsci in Tacloban, they already have this technology. But right now, these products can be ordered in China. No, they have various machines. They call it carving machines. No, ours would be that is 4-axis kono. So that is also 3D. Okay, so that is 3D printing. So you need to be aware of that. If you don't want to be replaced by a 3D printing, so of course my 3D printing machine. So you'll be the one to operate it. So there's no reason that you don't know this one because you have been taught right now. Okay, another nanotechnology. The first thing that comes to my mind about nanotechnology is the SIM card. Diba? We all have these SIM cards. Before, our SIM card is very big. No, not really that big, but it's at least 1 inch. And then right now, we have, nakalimot ko sa next ato, and basta karon the smallest one, the nano SIM. No, the 3D printing is happening alongside biological engineering. So by the end of the decade, we'll be able to print our own skin. So I feared about that. We just own skin ko, no? So it's more like realistic. No, by 2030, we'll be printing replacement body parts like heart valves. Oh my goodness. How could that be? Siguro mag-print lang pero it will not function just like a real heart valve, of course, because we are just humans. We cannot do that. These are just predictions, no? So here is the nanotechnology. There are advantages, no? So promoting renewable energies. Okay, so maka-easy ni siya sa life sa mga tao. So it extends the limits of electronics. And then siguro mga electronics major, they can relate nanotechnology. And then always in medicine, no? More effective medicines. And then these are the advantages. So it means to say nanotechnology is not a perfect technology that we can all have because there are advantages. Of course, here, destroys our environment. No, it has an impact, especially in the job market. So it will really affects humankind, especially us workers. So it compromises the safety, of course. It compromises the safety, especially when it comes to data, something like that. So what I can see in nano, the lesser and the smaller it gets, the more efficient it gets. The more, oh yes, the more efficient it gets. No, bisan gamay siya, daghan siya mahimo and more, even more detailed. And then mobile apps redefining service industries. So the mobile phone application is currently booming, but the real effects of these mobile services will be felt on industries as diverse as the taxi industry to the mining and agricultural sectors. So there has been services industries disrupted by on-demand mobile apps. Okay? Daghan na karon. And it's because of these mobile apps, gamay na lang sad og worker. Pa? So we can have this we can order food just by before someone is assigned to answer the phone, someone is assigned to talk to the customers, something like that. But right now, derecho, the owner, okay, you have your food staff, or for example, you have a restaurant, those food major, they said, okay, okay, we have orders, something like that. Or then the touch of a finger, okay, they deliver it, something like that. So there's also one thing here, how mobile apps can be used to lead for lead generation. No, so murag kitaan ninyo diha, murag gimagnet ang mga tao magsunod-sunod og unsay trend karon. No, so nag-manipulate ta karon sa mga mobile apps. We are being manipulated, but then I hope this will always find the positive that it can give to us, no, not the negative ones. And something that can also we can also be benefited mo na tong tan-awon diha permi. Next, we have the fight for control of the mobile payments. This is one of the trend for 2020. Mobile payments. So, is there actually a fight for control? No, because as you can see, look at the pictures here. O murag wallet. Murag wallet ang imuhang cellphone. So, have you ever been using GCash, for example? Recently, I'm doing it for my own comfort. No, I know all of you there are familiar with GCash. So, mura siya wallet imong cellphone. You have a PIN code and then you can do it with business transactions, for your own comfort. Now, an upshot of the application app economy is the question of who processes and makes money from online payments. The battle between banks, credit card companies, telcos, and software companies is going to be a major business story of the decade. This is very true, class. The moment you do that, you said, kinsa kay ma-benefit ani, kinsa kay maka-benefit ani, kinsa kay mabulahan ani nga, ingani ka kasayo na ba ani, mag-visit-visit lang ko sa kong cellphone, and then, there. No, that for example, in time of pandemic, it's really hard. Like, we want to buy something, food supplements, for example, is very necessary for our health. But then you go there, you need to go to the bank to pay for it because they don't want to receive money from you. So you have to go to the bank, and then that's very complicated. It's very hard, especially that we have this pandemic right now. So our health is at risk. So there is a need for you to have this technology, no, payments, mobile payments, like for example GCash, something like that. So all you need to do is you have a bank account, and then you just You just link your account to GCash, and then or you're going to cash in, di ba? That's what they call the I sa GCash, cash in money. So you go to 7-Eleven, Palawan, or Cebuana, or some other outlets that you can cash in, and then that would become your money on your cell phone. And then you're going to purchase anything using your cell phone. No, na lang kay pisliton diha. Ay, but be sure you have an internet. Always have an internet. So, ang internet company na pud mauna jud ni sila ang makakuan, makamadatug samot aning mga ingani nga technology karon. No, ang bottom line sila gyud ang madato. So, naa ba di ay control ko no. So, in the banks, there are less employees there. No, kay wala na tig-receive sa kuan, ang mga bills online naman. There are less people who are going to the banks because of online, especially if time of pandemics, narata sa balay, we want to do anything in at the top, no, in the tip of our fingers. Kay mahadok naman ta mo gawa. So, this pandemic actually um, what is this we patronize more on these technologies that we're having right now because of the pandemic, because of the fear of getting sick. Okay, so that is mobile payment. So reinventing entertainment. Okay, you can see there. No, so apps and connected machines are going to change consumer behavior, and nowhere is this more notable in the entertainment industries, which are being revolutionized by tools like Google Glasses and social media. As you can see in the photo, no, you have your laptop, you have your tablet, you have your cell phone, and then you can just choose anything to watch. For example, here, there's the news there. For the first time, Netflix. I know everybody knows Netflix, di ba? They are offering all movies. You can download if you're going to subscribe them. You can download their movies and then you can see it offline, right? Who would not want to see movies? No? So Netflix received more Emmy nominations this year than any other TV network as reported by BGR. The video streaming company received 112 nominations from the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences last month. When you can imagine, Netflix naka-award sila. Because of that, because ang mga tao ganahan man jud mo subscribe, ganahan not, if not subscribe, pay per use, no, we can have that. I can see that there is 149 per month, and then you can have this unlimited movies. You can download and you can watch it afterwards offline. See? So that's it. So reinventing entertainment. So the fall and rise of social media, my question is there really a fall, especially on the Facebook? No? So like many innovations, social media was greatly hyped, and now we're seeing the backlash of it being oversold. When we say hype, gi-promote siya maayo. Like many innovation social was greatly hyped, gi-promote siya maayo, but now it's being oversold. Over the rest of the decades, organizations are going to figure out how to use social media services effectively and profitably without hype. Right now, on social media, we don't need to promote it. People will just patronize them, what they can do with them. Wala na. Just look at this graph here. The blue one, that is Facebook. Some, of course, are falling, like MySpace. Are you familiar with MySpace application? This one here, the yellow one. I myself, I'm not familiar with that. I'm not using that application. Look at the Facebook, that's blue. And then, of course, the YouTube. Also increasing. And the Twitter is just the same. No? Bisan pagdaghan ang Facebook, yun ang pinaka-popular. The fall and rise of social media. That is really one of the trends right now. And then use this social media to your business. Okay? If you have business, ayaw ni siya himo ang kanang murag negative ba? No, negative sa imuha. No? Ayaw ni siya makahatag og negative sa imuha. Uy, na nag-istorya.
Nagyayo ay.
Okay, and then, are you listening? Are you still listening, class?
Ma'am.
Very good. Uy, usa na lang.
Ma'am.
Oh,
Yes,
pa.
ma'am.
Oh. Okay. I
Yes,
hope
ma'am.
Okay, I hope you're still listening ha. Kay this is very important baya kay especially your delete Facebook. Of course, Facebook will help you a lot, of course. Especially kung mag-business mo, di ba? It can help you a lot. Naapay daghan topics. And then look at that. Ang Facebook gihapon diri sa ubos, ang pinakataas. See? So, the fall and rise of social media. Usa na siya karon sa trend sa 2020. Another, newspaper cease to exist. When we say cease, wala na ni exist. So, look at that, the news. We are history. This is goodbye. See? We are history. This is goodbye in town. One of the effects of the social media, mobile phone apps, and the pervasive internet is the end of the newspapers by 2020. Oh, manang 2020 ba ya? So ni end na kay 2021 na rin kakaron. So that is what Ross Dawson, no, the futurist has said, has predicted. No, no, wala na newspaper. I think I don't need to expound this one. But anyway, if you're going to look for a job before, during our time, you look up on the magazines or newspapers, no? And then adto mi dito classified ads, adto dito mga jobs. But of course, right now, na naman mga cellphone, madto lang mo sa job.com, and then you find a job that suits for you, and then of course, na. You don't need to buy a newspaper. So data rights become an issue. And data rights will become an issue. Why? As the amount of data companies and governments collect explodes, the question of who owns that information and what they do with it becomes more pressing. This is a major issue for 2020 and even karon, di ba? And this is not actually for 2020 class, but even now, 2020 and onwards, no? Someone will hack your Facebook, someone will hack your bank accounts. That is actually the reason why na I'm not really being trustful with it comes to banking, with online banking, something like that, because we really don't know, no, kung naisud imong kwarta basig balik mong tan-aw wala na isulod, no, because it has been hacked. Okay ra ng Facebook mahack, diba? What if your bank accounts, no, so imong guna siyang gihaguan imong kwarta and then mahack lang. So that is something that we should be aware of, and dapat ma-avoid ta. It should be avoided, no? So it becomes an issue, no? Especially or like for example, no, na mga fake news. Inala ka ng, we can see that those Facebook account and those website nagtiyaga gud sila himo, and then it's not actually theirs. Naghimo-himo lang sila fake news, no? So there is really that issue about it right now. So that is one of the trends of 2020. So kamo, when you apply for a job, make sure that is a legit website, it is a legit Facebook account. Ayaw mo nga magpakuan pag-abot dahil dito, himuon dahil mong bar dancer, himuon dahil mong kulboy, wa mo kabaon sa trabaho abot na to. So be wise enough to evaluate, no, the if it is legit, no, o may tag legit kanang tinuod nga dili siya fake nga account. Okay? So the DIY economy continues to rise. What do you mean by DIY? So that is do it yourself, no? DIY acronym is commonly used kanang maghimo-himo ka, magpanday-panday ka sa inyong balay, maghimo-himo kag if you're trying to improvise things, if you are going to recycle things, may nga na ang DIY. So there is also a DIY economy kuno. So it continued to rise. Is this actually a negative or positive? Myself, I take this positively. So easy to use internet tools have already changed industries like media, travel, and retail. This is a continuing disruption where many more sectors are going to find the role of gatekeepers change or are eliminated. So literally, gatekeepers are the ones who are like guards, no? So ang mga guard, wala na yung mga trabaho. Or anyone who has that job na magbantay before ka makasulod, something like that, mawad-an sila trabaho because of the DIY economy continues to rise kuno. How is this related? No, how is this related? It's because, for example, right now, we are on this new technology and then you don't need to have guards because people will just communicate with you. No, will just communicate with you using that technology, using our internet. And then they don't really, you don't need someone to guard your, for example, you have restaurant, no? But, no, let us see this first one here. Home improvement industry compared with other sectors of retail. So, 38% larger than the full service restaurants. Ano? This means to say, kano naggamit. When we say DIY, these are the small business sectors, no? Like us, no? Kita magagmay mga negosyante. Oh, tanaw karon. 38 sila full service restaurants. Oh, ang mga restaurants, they have lots of staffs. They have guards, they have waiters, di ba? And then another larger full service department stores. So 154% karon ang mga tao they don't need to go to department store. That's why it is rising. Imagine 154 basta ko og mga ganansya ang mga DIY kanang naghinatod lang kanang sa Lazada kanang sa Shopee mo man na ato siyang gipatronize karon. So larger than full service health and drug stores. 20% kay you can even order drugs, not drugs na kuan ha, prohibited drugs. Kung kanang mga tambal, no? So we can order that online and then larger than full service clothing and accessory stores, of course. Kaya makapalit man gyapon tag online anong mga clothing and accessories, no, like other any products. So that is, you see that the from restaurants is 290 dollars, no, billion ni ha, these are billions, no. So the DIY economy means to harness the skills and talent in our local communities rather than depend on attracting the mythical factory. So, murag mythical na lang. When we say mythical factory, murag fantasy na lang totoo na ang mga factory nga ginihimo. Karon kaning mga DIY mo na ni karon murag ni hari sa atong economy. But so those old-fashioned, well-paid common factory jobs powered by a steam engine or an assembly line, they are not coming back, no, because of this DIY economy. But in your field of work class, this is actually advantageous to you. Why? For example, for the foods major or even the electronics, the drafting, food, you don't need to have a building, a big factory so that you can have your own business, no? So like for example this one, actually I read an article about DIY economy. It is also advantageous because it is the small businesses right now that will thrive or that will survive. Why? Because you don't need to have these lots of people. And then okay, what will happen? For example, you're a food major and you want to get into business, food business industry. Diba? You only need workers who will cook for you. And then someone who will deliver. You don't need waitress. You don't need dishwasher. Yes, of course, you need dishwashers. And that's the reason why these small businesses right now are the ones who are hiring um, people to work with them. So it's not really a downfall. It's not really a downfall of the economy. It helps people, especially the business sectors, small business sectors. It was predicted that these are the ones who will thrive in this trend, in this new trend, with the help of technology. Okay? So, number 13, a new education revolution. Of course, you are very familiar with this, and we are actually doing this right at the moment. So one of those gatekeeper industries is education. The role of universities, training colleges, and schools is changing as online learning is revolutionizing how students learn. Of course, yes. when we say one of those gatekeeper industries is education, yes, why is it like acting like a guard? Of course, ang mga school, kay moingon sila, oh, you can't go to elementary not unless you finish your element. You cannot go to secondary or high school not unless you finish your elementary. Di ba? Yung anak na. And then, moingon na sad ang mga ang mga teachers sa secondary, oops, dili ra ka kutob, you cannot go to college or universities if you cannot pass all your subjects in secondary. Umurag mga gwardya ang education sector. Okay? So, oh, you cannot go, you can't have this job not unless you finish your senior high school first. And then you may work after your senior high, or you can proceed with studying college. Okay? So, it is also revolutionizing, no, the students learning. Okay, for example, e-learning like what you have right now, that is actually e-learning. It only depends on your class. No, the teachers will give you everything that they have and what everything that they know to to give you learnings. It's actually up to you if you are listening or you're not interested, something like that. But you know what, last, even if you're not interested, if you were just listen, after that, whether you like it or not, you just realize that you learned something out of that. Yes, that is very true, because of course we are also one students. We are also like you. If the teacher is discussing in front of us, we don't like to listen, of course, because actually, class, when you are very young, most of us really don't know the importance of learning. No? But when you get to work, you will realize how important are our inputs right now. No, because it is the time when you are on your 20s already, it is the time that you're going to apply what you have learned on your teen years. No, it's based on the studies on your teen years. It is the time that you're going to grasp. No, your brain is very active that time to grasp informations. If you do not put anything, any learning on your minds right now, what are the things that you're going to apply when you are on your 20s? Okay? So, actually, class, online learning, no? E-learning, or electronic learning is not really boring, no? If you're just going to listen and then somehow you will really learn. It really depends on you. Okay? So, is coronavirus outbreak leading to a new education revolution? Yes. It's like we are being forced to have this online learning right now because of the corona, because of the threat of this coronavirus. The more we are inclined to e-learning, so there is no reason for us that we cannot graduate. It's really up to you, because everything is the internet. You can just have it in the internet. Actually, in the United States, class, actually I have a niece there who studied there, and then even before the pandemic, they have this online class. No, they have this online class, and they submit it online, something like that. Actually, the US has been practicing this already, and then I think it's just recently during this pandemic that it's like we are being forced, Filipinos, no, we are being forced to have this online class. But actually, this is one of the, actually, I want to share this with you. In my graduate studies here in Tacloban, this is one of our feasibility studies. If this could be applicable in EBSU. Are you familiar with EBSU Tacloban? That is Eastern Visayas State University. So I'm currently studying there my doctorate studies. So we have these feasibility studies if online learning can be applied in that school, no, just because it was triggered because of this pandemic, and it could be of big help to those students, especially those who are living far away. Okay, so that's it for a new education revolution. Another, reskilling the workforce. Okay, in Industrial technology students should be skillful. Of course, this is BSIT is about being skilled, no, being skilled. Not a mediocre one, but a competitive one. When we say mediocre, kanang murag, okay, okay lang, basta lang makamao mo ko ano, na not, don't settle to being mediocre. Okay? With all the new technologies entering business, our existing workers need the skills to use them properly. Coupled with only learning, there's no excuse not to develop the skills to compete in the new economy. Okay, this is addressed most especially to you students, no? So, reskilling the workforce. You can see there three ways to use micro-learning, upskill, reskill workforce. Look at them. Sila ra usa, ang usa, atubang siya laptop, of course, they are reskilling. No, if you don't know something about this one, you try to search on the internet. There are a lot of videos that you can learn from on how to do this, how to do that, especially in this time of pandemic. So there's no reason for you that you will never be able to learn that particular subject because it's all there. It's all there on the YouTube. There are things that will guide you, and then if you don't like videos, you can read. There's a lot of things there. That's the reason why class that we have reskilling. Why? For example, we are aware that there are recessions, no, sa America. We have that recession, I think that's early 2020s. No, no, not early 2000s, no, mga 2003, 2000, something like that. And that is a big recession because of debts. Ang debts, dili patay ha, kanang utang ba. Okay, what happened to the companies? They are reskilling the workforce. Ang workforce, kita na ang mga tao. They are reskilling. In what way? Mura siya jack of all trades. No? Murag mula, uy, kakapoy, ani nga trabaho. Ako, inani raman jud akong trabaho niya, pahimuon sa kuato. Nga na, mo baliba dayon, di ko. So, the tendency is they were fired because they don't like to have that. And then, the companies that time are really having this hard time to cope up with the recession, so they have to fire you. Kay ba man mo unsay fire, di ba? Gitangtang kas trabaho. So that is the reason why class we want you to be well-rounded students. Dili ka mo ingon nga, ay dili ko ana, uy kay di ako kay ba mo drawing. Wa ba na, di ba ako inana ko major. No, but you have drawing subjects, all of you. I know that. So, padrawingon gani kas imong boss, drawing ko dayon diha. Pakita ko sa imong nahibawaan. No, all of your subjects, man, kay baw ka mo ko ano, mo istorya ana mo asan ni mag-promote atong product. Yes, sir. Yes, dayon nga pag ikagabi pagtan-aw sa internet, sa YouTube, magtan-aw ka unsaon mahimo kang maayo ka nga speaker, mahimo ka nga may ka nga kanang sa siya kanang maikag PR, mahimo kang maig PR, no, in front of the customers. So that is reskilling, upskilling, no, the workforce. Kay kung tangtangon, dili ka nila tangtangon kay moingon man ka, oh kay bawa sa kuana, oh kamao ko ana, magsikag ingon dili ko ana sir kay di ana mo ako major. Ay ana ka, they would like you will likely be fired, no, mawadan kag trabaho kay magsige makagdili kay di ko ana, di ko kamao. No, don't do that. Kung dili ka kamao, yes sir gihapon, yes sir kamao ko, nya pagagabi day ka mag-search day ka sa Google. So that's what you're going to do. Maruay lang ba, no, skill. We said there, competence, experience, training, ability, advanced training, especially you class OJT pa mo karon. There's a lot of things, there's room to grow for you, pwede pa mo masayop. Mauna siya naka-advantage nga naamoy OJT. So, pwede mo masayop yun. Okay ra kaayo. Ay, kung mo sige kasayop. Paning kabusad mo, kanang, ang akong pasabot nga, dili mo, pwede mo masayop. Kanang, of course, you lack experience. Kaning mga younger people, mas lack magod sa experience kaysa mga older people on that job. So, mauna siya time nga you will learn a lot kanang OJT based on my experience. I learned a lot from there. Dili sa kumubalibad. No, sige sir, okay, kaya na nako because you know what last in our college nga na sa PIT, I think that is Sir Ibanez. I don't know if Sir Ibanez still there. He's one of my professor and he taught us. He said na if your boss tells you na, oh, can you do this? Yes, you said yes because it means to know when you going to work, you have to sell yourself. So on-job training, meaning nag-practice mo sa inyong field. No, imong ibaligya imong self, magpa-impress ka sa imong boss, magpa-impress ka para makita nila nga maayo ka nga worker. Okay? Foundation na siya nimo. And then ayaw kay maay nang daghan kag experience, ayaw pag binalibad. You upskill yourself. You upskill yourself para ka nga dili ka ma-left behind, no? So dili ka ma-fired sa work. You will always have job, no? Importante yun na karon, no? That is reskilling the workforce through technology. So another here, so older workers re-entering the workforce. Ang mga kamako to mga tiguang-tiguang kuno as you can see in the photos, no, ning balik kuno sila og trabaho. Most of the world is going over the demographic cliff as the baby boomer generation retires. Unfortunately, they're finding out that retirement isn't all it's cracked up to be and they are looking at entering the workforce. Is it really a negative thing for them to enter workforce or to the world work? No, you shouldn't be threatened by them. You know, when we say baby boomer generation retires, because the age of the baby boomers generation is they are the babies who are born between 1945 to 1960s. That is during World War II. That is post World War II, meaning when we say post, after the World War II, because the soldiers, the servicemen went home to their each of their families, and they're making lots and lots and lots of babies. Okay? So they are what we call the baby boomer generation. So if we try to compute class, the age of the baby boomers right now is around 60s to 80s. So retirable na siya. So most of them retires and some are already planning to retire, no? But then some of them wanted to enter workforce. So that's one of the trends of the 2020. Oh, there's a news there. Older workers bring valuable knowledge. Younger workers are better at learning new skills. Indeed, kamo na ang younger workers. Maayo kayong daghan na kaimong skills karon like BSIT students for sure when they go out from PIT, they bring with them their skills. Parihan namo ni Sir Wendell. Kana Sir Wendell daga nag-sideline, mga daga na siya project, mga balay-balay kay mao ko ana. Ako sa the furniture o di ba? Drafting man ko. Nagamit ko until karon and I'm very thankful for PIT like because of that. And you too, pwede sad mo mag-ingana. Do not limit yourself for being a mediocre BSIT student. No, don't say that. Strive hard, strive hard, strive hard. Ayaw pagluya-luya. No? So, again, maayo mo ang mga kabatanunan kuno maay sa skills, and then olders, they have valuable knowledge. Why? They have valuable knowledge because of their experience. So that is one of the trends of for the 2020. We have here next is dealing with the society at retirement age. So, with an aging population comes a range of issues that could be ignored. While the workforce was young, now businesses and communities have to deal with the economic and social consequence of this. So it says there, I have read an article that it says that those people who are 34 to 44 years old, they are declining, no? Murag, wa na kaayoy trabahante nga inganag edad. Trabahante ging anag edad. So, ang nabilin ang mga younger ones, so 20s to 30s, and then those old people. Unfortunately, if you can see there, nagkagamay na lang ang mga batan-o, nagkadaghan ang tiguang, pero, but, retire na sila. And then, the question there, who will run your company? No, who will run your company? Because you cannot give it to the young people. Diba? So, kaning mga tiguang-tiguang na, no, those are aging, nani say daghan nga mga knowledge. No, dili man gyud na nato makuha sila. They are more experienced than us. So, it is their presence is very important. And then,
Sige, ma'am.
those young ones, that is you, no, so has lack of
Sige, ma'am.
experience. So that is one of the trends that also China is
Kaya
dealing
daging mong
about, no, the age, retirement age, na wa na sila magkuan sa ilang mga business. Who will run the company?
Facebook lang, ma'am.
They
Ako
are
lang
afraid that
Oh.
some of the issues will be
Ang link
ignored
naman na akong
or
ihatag.
neglected.
Kaya
Kailan
ako bitang klase sa akong
batan,
kuan, ma'am,
there are
kanang
things, of course,
undergrad, ma'am.
they are here,
Ang style
they
ako,
are
naghimog yung
present,
account
they
sa
are
YouTube na
they are
discuss ko rin.
futuristic, but there are
Discuss.
some issues,
Hatag
maybe
ako sa
there are
ila.
some issues that they will
Okay,
neglect it
every now and then,
because
pwede sila
out of small experience. So
Naman
it
eh,
is
taga February
natural
sa inyo, ma'am.
also that there are things that they don't
Ah.
know yet that could harm the future because of their leadership.
Di mo
Because
nagkaka-account?
ang mga tiguang wala na kayo nang retire na. Of course, so that is dealing with a society at retirement age. Next, we have China moving up the value chain. Na nausab niya. Slide. Sige na lang na. That is China moving up the value chain. So, kinsa may wala kahibaw og China diri. All of us know about China, especially this time of pandemic. It's like we are blaming the pandemic. It's because of them, something like that. No, because it started there, and it's like we are being betrayed because they don't tell us about this, and now look at this. There's a lot of people dying all over the world. It's like that. So, a nation that is being deeply affected by their aging population is China. So, katong ganina ang istorya. And to deal with this, the PRC is moving their industries
Kinaman
up
po ko'y parente
the
nga
value
winter
chain.
gihapon. Mga
When
sipyat
we say
sila kuan.
PRC, that is People's Republic of China. So this has
ma'am.
big
Okay, ma'am.
ramifications for consumers and business owners
Ah.
across the
Chate
remainder
lang ko, ma'am,
of
sa ka
the
mga rin, ma'am.
decade. So,
Chate.
naniguro sila maayo nga
Pag-chat lang ba,
unsaon
usa ka mga rin,
dili
kay usay,
gid
wa ko
pwede
rin ako
ma-down
suppose.
ani, di gid
Kasi
mo
mahado ka
pwede
pag-chat
ma-down
ka.
ani. As you can read here on the article, China has held its status as a front runner in manufacturing
mo,
the
for sure.
world's goods for decades, no, mga pila na
Pwede rin mo
mga
yapin, housekeeping o
pila na
technology.
mga years na, more than 10 years na. The country produces 80% of the world's air conditioners, 70% of its mobile phones, and up to 63% of its shoes. In fact, China's share of total global manufacturing output was 25% last year. So, dako na kayo ni sila. Imagine na,
Pwede ba?
out of 100%, there's so many countries all over the world, and imagine 1/4 of them is coming from China. Can you imagine how big is it? No? But the country's manufacturing sector faces rising wages, foreign competition, currency pressures, and other challenges. And there is where we get in, no? So, actually, class, during my time, during the recession, a lot of companies, and most especially, furniture companies in Cebu are closing. It's because of the recession, because we are one of the dependent countries of America, of the USA. Pag down sa Amerika, down sa ang Pilipinas. So, the tendency that time, all the factories went to China. That's why all the factories from America went to China. They put up the factories. The reason why China? Because of their very low wage. For example, Here in the Philippines, when
Karon
you
karon.
work in a
Last
furniture
last ba?
company, you paid
Last ba?
60 pesos for just, this is just
Pero
for
wa mo
example,
gahi mo.
ha? If you were given 60
Tabla kita ni.
pesos per
Gabi pa ko.
worker, if you go to
Abi ni
China,
kung
they
kamilang
will only
kuyawan lang
give
ko.
you 20 pesos. So that's a very big difference when it comes to labor cost,
Oo.
right? So, the tendency, they
Sige
rise.
ma'am, sige
No,
ma'am.
there's a rise of value chain in China. So most factories are there because of the labor. They paid less. They paid less for the factory workers. And now, look at this news. This, I think this is very a good opportunity for us, no? Like we are that we're going like to work. So they're trying to
Sige.
raise their wages. Rising wages. So nagtaas-taas na sad ilang
Ikit.
wage ko no.
Naong
Di mo na
remote na
silang
to eh.
ginahuna karon. So
Oh.
we have here,
Ako
so
electric
made
fan.
in China 2025, that
Asa man,
is
okay
on
na nito?
2025. China has now been associated with cheap,
Oh.
long quality goods.
Yeah, pon.
When we say, made in China, ay, dili yun na maayo, di yun na maayo, basta made in China na, dali ra ka na maguba, no? But you listen. But the Chinese government plans to change the view with its Made in China in 2025 initiative.
Misa.
Gusto ko na nilang usbon na. Di na sila ganaan nga mura lang sila
Ubos
nas
ang oras
ubos,
sa
no? The plan aims to stimulate China's manufacturing sector by adopting new
Asa
technology
may mong na-order
to
pagka?
make it
Kuwan.
more competitive globally by
Asa may mga
2025.
order pagka?
So ato ra nang hunahuna nga ang
27?
mga Chinese karon na nga down. No, they are not.
Lazada,
They are
27.
striving hard. They are really doing their best just to be on top. And
2020
you
ako
see
sa
that made in
Lazada ba?
China kuno by 2025. So maybe by that time they were going to make excellent products by that time. 'Di ba? Dili na mga
Powerhouse.
kadong mga gumaguba na dayon. So
Powerhouse nga.
they also right now, because of this downfall, they encourage lenders to extend cheap loans to limit the fallout from the
Washer.
virus epidemic. So the
Mapadagay
epidemic
mo.
has hit the country's manufacturers and retailers alike as people have been out of work, quarantines have come down. Okay, so now of course greatly affected by sila. That's the reason why that they are really
Three
keeping
mil.
up high, they're moving up the value
3-6.
chain. Dili sila gusto nga nalang magpaubos. They are really striving
3-1.
hard. Okay. Because of and it says there because of the technology with the help of example again with the help of the new technology.
2-4.
Ilan na hilang himong positive.
Dili Powerhouse. Hindi klaro.
Okay, number 18, rising incomes in South Asia and Africa.
3-3.
So, the 20th century model of using immigrants to address labor shortages relies on countries having an excess of skilled young workers. The countries which have those with century in South Asia and Africa are growing themselves, and the 2020s will see trade patterns beginning to change. Wow! Asa man ang Philippines?
Katubitang na
Ang Philippines na asa, for your information, naata sa South Asia, no, naata sa South of Asia. Ang Amerika sad, duol-duol rata ang Africa. So we know mo yung gitag Africa, it's also a third world country, no, mo lisod sad. But look at now, the world sees its improvement. Look at the poverty level, as you can see. The South Asia there, that is where we belong, that is with the blue line, that not the dark one, as you can see, this is actually the poverty headcount ratio. When we say poverty class, kanang sa kalisod, no, ang kalisod sa sitwasyon sa usa ka place. So it's going down. So it means to say dili na kaidaghan ang naglisod at the range, no, from 1990 na ang ipakita diyan, from 1990 to 2013 palanggani na ning ubos na. It means to say mao kuno ni ang mga, as you can see, nag-rely lang kuno ta sa atong mga maid nga ipada sa gawas, mga helper, no, mga skilled workers nga ang ilang ipanwildo, mga gagmayra, ang uban, no. Pero karon kuno kani kuno nga mga countries, ang South Asia and Africa ning taas na, there is a change. So that is one of the trends for 2020. So let us be part of that. Kap mo,
Dili.
nga karon mga OJT
Online.
mo, set that in mind
Si
na
kuan
we
ni.
are not
Kailan kang
mediocre,
Rose
we are
Avila?
striving hard. Let's help
Contracting
our
sa na.
country. Let's help our
Tanas
country to
haro.
rise. Okay?
Akong gikuhang speaker sa
So,
drafting.
in the great
Ah,
deleveraging. What is deleveraging? No, so
ha?
one of the most important factors affecting businesses and communities
Wa
this decade is the end of the 50-year
Nako mito
post-World
yung kaya
War.
nakita na mo ha. Sa
Okay,
mga ba
where is
batunan
that?
tagabi.
Decade 50 post-World War II credit boom. Businesses have to learn to make do with less. Of course, I have mentioned a while ago about the recession of the United States, and we are one of the affected countries. As you see, class, the reason why they have recessions because of the debts of the people of United States. Dito class, permi dito
Ha?
utang na hurot ang
Ah,
tao ug utang munay ilahang trend ngadto sa Amerika. And that time nagkapuno-puno ng utang mo to nag-down na gyud sila. That's the reason why. And what is deleveraging? When you say deleveraging, you're trying to pay off ang mga tao nga to nag-pay off sa ilang utang, sa ilang debts, no, DEBT, ilang debts, and then what they used to pay, their own asset in a very low price para lang sila makabayad sa ilang utang. So it was said that one of the trends of 2020 is deleveraging, the great deleveraging, but this is not good to the economy because what will happen if one of the of all, if ever the individuals will have to pay, you have to give everything in a low cost para lang ka makabayad, what will happen to you? Diba? What will happen to you? Wala na kay balay, wala na kay imo mangibayaran sa imong mga utang. And then, ang imo pa dyan pagbaligya sa imong mga, mga kuan, properties in a very low price para lang ka makabayad. So, it's still a problem of a government. No? So, it will also happen on this decade kaning deleveraging. The great deleveraging are reason why the global economic recovery would falter. If we take the situation described above, it becomes clear that the term deleveraging or pay off the debt and winding down consumption is the first priority for individuals, the private sector, and the government. So, ang problema naman sad ni, no, why is deleveraging bad? Deleveraging is frustrating and painful for private sector entities in distress. Selling, as I've said a while ago, selling assets at a discount can itself lead to heavy losses. So, ang ikaw mismo sad, even ikaw sad, magdisod pug ka. Nawa imong utang pero ikaw magdisod man sad ka. So, kamo, mga bata pa mo, dapat mo ta, magdikay na mo aning mga utang-utang. Kay one day soon, you find yourself, ang tanan nimong hinaguan sa imong pagtrabaho will just come to waste. Kay imo man ang ipamayad sa imong mga utang puhon. Okay? Something that you should think about. So the last one, taming the big data tsunami. So what is this data tsunami? No? So the greatest commercial challenge of this decade is dealing with the sheer flood of data streaming into organizations. Managing and using this information effectively will separate business winners from losers. All of these trend points to one thing, business as usual, as we knew it in the 20th century is over. Why? What do you mean by data tsunami? As you can see, class, if you can surf, diba? If you can surf into the internet, you can Google, there's a lot of data. If you are a businessman, if you are a student, when you try to search, there's a lot of things, there's a lot of data being given to us, di ba? Dagagihatag si Google nga mga information sa ato at how are we able to identify kung unsa ang on what are the things that we can be truly be benefit about,
ambot
no?
ka ha.
So let us not be um submissive, no, kanang magsunod-sunod lang ta, mao ba nag-iibot lang sa internet, mao siguro i-apply sa ninato. No, you should be a keen observer, no. That's why it is said there that managing and using this information effectively ang gingon, meaning in a positive way, kanang maayo nga paggagamit nimo. Kay no, the reality today is that every manufacturer, is going to be gathering and processing more and more IoT data. The scale can seem overwhelming. However, the tools and solutions are available today to tame the data tsunami, to put you in control. So, naa na kay control ka, you can gain the insights needed to achieve the transformative potential of IoT technologies. So, something that we should think about. Dili ta magpadalos-dalos kay that is one of the trends karon na 2020 on the 21st century. The big data tsunami. When we say taming class, it means to say na imo bang i-control, imo na siyang i-control kay it could be harmful to your own self and even to your work and even to your business. So that's it. So that is the 20 trends of 2020. And then I really hope, no, it's time to think for thinking fast. It's time for thinking fast and different, especially kamo mga new generations. Okay? So, thank you for listening. Are you still there?
Hello, good afternoon once
Yes, ma'am.
again.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you still there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay ba mo?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that would be all.
Okay na.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you still there? Uy, na Omar Sintintan, kay ning left ko no. Ning left po si Panal. Uy, nangawa man
Naway
sila.
ngingon, buhay pa ba kayo?
Oo, buhay pa ba kayo? So, I hope with that, you learn something. Namoy na learn? Or
Gamay.
Ma'am.
Gamay.
Gamay, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Okay, dapat dako.
So dapat nga na jud mo kinahanglan well-equipped mo before mo mag OJT. No, dili mo magluya-luya, kinahanglan competitive mo. Like what I've said, maybe robots will take away our jobs. O no, simba ko lang. Muna karon sa workforce, very kuan jud karon na dapat competitive ka. No, especially you. And I know ang role sa PIT is to train you well, naara gyud na ninyo. No, daghan naman sa kog nahibaw-an. There's a lot of alumnus from that school na ni succeed man, no? So kamusad, of course. Let it be your inspiration. And katong karon akong gisulti sa inyo ha. Muna siya inyong mga dapat bantayan karon na mga trends, no? And then that's it. Thank you for listening. You have any questions?
Wala, thank you, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Wala na lang, ma'am.
Wala naman mo kay gikapoy na mi.
Wala na. Ako na.
So, Sir Wendell.
Okay, once again, good afternoon. Ang katong ipang storya ni ma'am, no? Very informative kaayo. Even though siguro bisan lahi-lahi og major, but still kung ato lang naibutang sa tungon na kasing-kasing ba the way on how she talk about the trend, no? Murag kumbaga kung kato siya ma'am nga talk, kung ato tong ibutang karon sa ato ba inline sa ato karon nga upcoming bitaw nga kuan ma'am kanang college week ma'am at technology days day, murag gud siya igo gud siya kaayo sa ato nga tema. King atong theme karon kay kuan man, bouncing back together, innovating engineering and technology education for the new normal.
Wow.
Oo, mo na siya.
Sakto ba? Na at least na-prepare na ang mga bata. O, tanong
Yes.
background.
Oo, at least ba na sila idea nga kumbaga isuma total na to ba, not totally that ang ato major is just like that, but still we have to learn something for the sake nga na makakuanta sa tanan nga trade bitaw og trend.
Yes.
Tay like me in my case, no, kung natay extracurricular nga kuan activity, natay naputay lain pod nga idea, naputay lain nga talent or skills, then mo kuanta mo sustain ta sa ato kinabuhi.
Yes. Di ta magsalig og usa lang, di ba? Reskilled workforce. Very important yun na.
Oo. Kay kung pananglitan bitaw sa ato ang major, maingon ta nga food tech ta diha, automotive ta dinha. Kung mabot ta sa balay, automotive ta, nigabot sa balay, mukaon man gyud ta. Mo gamit tag kuryente. No? Mo
Kinahanglan well-rounded ka.
Oo, manglaba ta. Then if we talk about drawing technology, we'll know how to separate colors kung maglabat ah.
Mm-mm.
Lainon ang di color og
Very
puti.
applicable. Mm-mm.
Oo. Then about electricity. Gamit po tag electricity. Kay bisan pag unsa katapulan sa tao kung inig mata niya, iyang cellphone, sa alas 3 kadlaw iyang cellphone lubat gali mo bangon gana para mag-charge.
Exactly. Oo na dyan, nanginta na gid permit kuryente ang tao karon.
Mao gyud ma'am. Kay mas kuyawan ba mabuhi ang tao or murag maglisod og ginhawa ang tao kung way kuryente. Kay tanan na din na.
Oo.
Dili na
Moses.
katanaw og balita, dili na katanaw og
Oo.
cellphone, dili na, wala na kay ang atong data pod bisan pa og napatay battery sa atong cellphone kung atong piso wifi sa silingan dili na mo gana ka way electricity, way kuryente. Murag tag maburyong ka diot. So man na siya trend karon sa new normal. With respect to the 2020 nga kuan no. Slight lang na siya nga kuan akong gistorya but still part gud gihapon ni siya sa development sa tao that we need to face the reality in the real world of
Yes, muna yun na ang
kuan.
trend ka, no? And
So
dili kita
clarification,
Verifications.
justification,
Or
No, sir. No, ma'am.
na nagwaswas pa ma'am.
violent reaction. Nagwaswas pa.
Nagwaswas pa.
Violent reaction.
Okay. So as of now, no, at this point, I would like to acknowledge, no, the presence of those who are late, no, to join.
Yeah, mo today ni sir.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, kanang kuan man na sila. Wala man jud ko nag-mine ana sa ila usahay nga malate sila. Actually, nag-anticipate na nako that there were times that we need to adjust man good for the sake nga makiangayan ang atong approach in terms of ingana. Kay aware naman na sila actually din. Ako aware na pug kung ingan ang sitwasyon. Oo. Nya kini para manis kayuhan sa tanan. Therefore, I make and I plan to do something for them to learn even though they are not totally with us no during this session. So ako nang gi-record ko ni siya. Kung wala na
siyang i-upload.
yes ma'am, ako na magkuan niya murang tag
So they will review
YouTubers ta
this.
ni ron. YouTubers ta ron.
Sige, mo tanaw ko sir. Mo like ako sa imong kuan. Kani ko sa imong link ha.
Kini ra pod ma'am, kini ra pod nga mga session ra pod actually.
Oo.
Okay, wala na mo yung mga pangutana bitaw, clarification or unsa ba inyong gustong i-komento karong hapuna? Gusto na ko na wala na? Okay.
Wala na, sir. May po explain, sir.
In behalf of the PIT faculty no and family, I would like to congratulate everybody for this wonderful and informative session together with Ma'am Rose Avila. So first, di ato gitag-sa na lang ni Aisa Gutierrez, Buhos George, Cedric Badua, Celso Villacrucis, Danian Sorigao, Dave Casolya, Dines Mainit, Donica, di na lang natot dun. To the rest of the OGTs.
Sanin Pugoy,
No?
Jixi, Cedric.
Oo. Dwight Sanico. Ang akong mouse diri magdagandagan magud pod ma'am actually, murang mudi ko kaapas. To the rest of the GOGTs no, I would like to say thank you for your support and cooperation, and also to you Ma'am Rose.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
A million
Mag-picture
thanks.
ka, sir, ha? Ikaw na
Ma'am.
pag-picture diya, sir. Kay...
A million thanks is not enough to say thank you for you to have this
Oh, you're welcome.
session.
My pleasure.
Kay murag sa tanan-tanan gyud nga akong nakuan ba murag ikaw ra gyud akong maduolan gyud.
Oy, thank you, sir.
Okay, akong nakitaan
Oh,
po
ba't
ba?
yata?
Oo, ako po nakitaan man ba ko murag si ma'am lugid akong kon kay diri uban akong gipang invite then murag kuan. Actually, naa sila potential but then ang courage to talk ba murag actually bisan ako dili man jud ko ingon nga courageous nga tao but still in kuan kanang para lang yun sa kaangayan sa tanan kay gibutan man ko nila as OGT officer mo naging nga padruing.
Wow, very wow kanin mong role, sir. Ikay ning puli ni sir sa abang.
Oo. Akong ging nalagi sila ma'am nga padruing nga lang ko ay lang ko pa istorya ha pero wa man tay mahimo.
May lang kay kastanan, sir.
Mamatay
Nag-eskwela
mahimo,
pud
ma'am.
baya ka. Nag-eskwela pud baya ka. Mo na
Lagi.
gyud ni, mo na gyud na tong role. Mag-inistorya.
Lagi. Ako
Ha?
na lang
Mo na gyud.
dawaton ang tanan, ma'am. Kaya
Kay grasya na.
na may gingon nga everything is happen for a reason.
Yes.
Some people or somebody look at you that you have the potential to do something. Murag nga na lang
Correct.
dawaton na lang ko,
They
no?
see something on you. That's why they put you there.
Mao gyud. Then ako lang po nang gisalig sa Ginoo tanan nga kini silang tanan nga naa karon mo graduate gyud ni.
Uy, mayo unta. Yan po
O
na
sa
nato.
madugay sa madali kay ako guni siyang gilalayan tanan.
So,
Kay
may swerte mo ni Sir
ako sila
Wendell.
encourage actually kay ang uban ani nila ma'am kasurrender na lang nga mingon sila sir ganahan make face to face nga training sa OJT. Ayun ko nga mo na akong ingon sa inyo everything is happen for a reason. Dili ta makapursige sa Ginoo kung unsa iyang plano para sa tuwa.
Mm-mm.
Importante nga naginhawa ta. Importante nga makalihok ta. Mo lang yapon.
Oh, they're very lucky enough to have these trainings or webinars because during our time, I don't know with you, sir, during our time, we really don't have this one.
Yes, ma'am.
We strive our own.
Wala pang butoy pandemic good ma'am actually. Alternative way raman ni sila para masolbad good word actually.
Pero during face-to-face class, sir, they have briefings already about OJT, right?
Yes, ma'am. Nanay siya
They have
gitawag og
trainings already. During our time, we
pre-departure.
don't have. Oh, yes, we
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
have that.
Departure na mo last year, ma'am.
Pre-departure.
Huh? Oh, pre-departure.
Nami pre-departure last year, ma'am.
Oh, that's good to hear because during our time in the 1990s, that's so long ago, we don't have this kind of trainings. So you're lucky enough to have these webinars right now or even trainings face to face. No? So kami gani naka-survive mi ato nga wa how much more kamo nga gialalayan na gyud mo karon. There's no reason gyud na daghan pa gyud makita sa YouTube.
Okay.
Diba katong topic kanina. So
Yeah, free tuition pa jud actually.
yes, you're blessed enough. You're really blessed enough na ana lang gid na ninyo nga saon nyo paglihok.
Kakugi ra gyud.
Ang uban ang trabaho na nagchat-chat namin, "Uy ma'am, nakatrabaho na jud mi, naami diri Cebu, nagkita-kita mi karon." Oh, di ba? Ang maestra malipay baya na. Kay minoy nang minaw gid sa akong kuan tuon na. Actually, that's actually one of the things that I miss teaching college students kay murag pre-departure ba before sila mag-job iwas sa nagkasab-an uy imo paging-ani kay kuan o
Mao
ni
gid,
no
ma'am.
able to tell them the reality of the world of work.
Na
That's
ako'y-
why
Na ako'y kuan gali ma'am, graduate na siya ma'am. Kaduha to nako siya gihagbong ma'am, balik right after na sa iyang graduation. Oh no. Wala siya ming paso sa iyang graduation ma'am kay gi-absorb siya sa company.
oh see
Kaduha siya hagbong sa drawing subject. Ang iyang ika fourth year bali nag-UGT siya. Pag last semester ana before siya mo-graduate after niya UGT siya ma'am kay balik siya sa ako kay nam siya hagbong. Niya pag human ato kay gi-absorb siya sa company, balik ko siya sa kuha. Kuan siya.
on
Automotive
Iman
major ma'am.
oh
Ningon
maayo
siya nga, sir, pasalamat gyud ko imo kong gihagbong kay naguna-una gyud ko nga ang drawing walay gamit sa automotive pero gamit man gyud ay siya.
oh
modern
see gamit yun mo bitan na sa drawing subjects kay
Oo.
we know very used kay nas tanan. Kung may kag foods dili ko diya na kay di may mag-bake me daily kay pa-designon mo naa ganito estudyante diya sir di ba nga nag-OJT sila nya pag-apply ko nagtrabaho niingon ko no nga sige pag-design og cake. Agoy kay wa siya nagtarong siyang drawing.
Mao gyud.
Mao na.
Mixture sa color ma'am, actually engage ka po na sa drawing.
Yes, very good kanang mixtures mag-icing-icing sila di ba?
Mensuration, sukod-sukod.
Oh, sukod-sukod. Kanang mga automotive, kanang mga something mechanical.
Yes ma'am.
Mechanical, na dyan ay drawing. Kanang tanan, machine shop, mechanical man na. Power plant, electricity. Oh, kanang mag-control sa circuits, di ba? Drawing
Layout.
na.
Layout
Oh,
ma'am.
layout. Kita kay baw ana mo visualize. Importante man gud sa drawing, ngay ba mo visualize. So kanitanan ang mag-visualize man jud kaan nag mga design. Yun sa
Okay.
man nimo. Way gamit nimo sa imong drawing.
Even in my experience ma'am, katong na ako sa kuan gali sa do exam before. Kay ingon ko nga dili good ingon sila bang uban nga dili ko no gamit ang drafting anong nako sa do exam nag collector. Ako may tighimo sa sketch kung asa dapit ang balay sa tag-iya sa
Oh, di
deliveran.
ba?
So gamit jud kay gihapon.
Gamit jud kaming drawing.
Importante lang nga makontento
Sir,
ta kung unsay
I have a
nakaron.
I have a question, sir. Kanang ibalik na ba diha ang drawing subject sa mga education?
As of now,
education.
murag naa ma'am, naay pila lang, selected lang.
Ano, gi-question ba yan na tuon na diha ko no? Yung si Sir Gagliarde, gi-question ko no na anong gikuha ang drafting subject sa mga education courses.
Mao gyud ma'am.
Saan diri na ay sa EBSU, sir?
Yes,
Di ba
ma'am.
dako ba ni EBSU? Na-slay drawing subjects, yun, wala gikuha ang drawing subjects. Nga na ako no, during the accreditation, when I was there, i-question ko no ng tingnan lang gikuha ang drawing subjects
Mao gyud
sa
ma'am.
mga education. Nga, ang mga maestra, magsigig, drawing, magsigig, kolo-kolo, sige, cut out,
Mo gamit naman gyapon.
Kami jud kay tanan mag-structure og room lang mura na jud ko ang kinahanglan dapat jud ka na kay knowledge about drawing.
Mao. Kay basic mo gyud siyang drawing ma'am.
Yes, basic sa tanan gamit jud.
At least if naa sila idea na pwede nila makakuan ba, maka-idea sila kung naa sila ipatrabahoon nga bata pod as indicator na unsaon pa nila pag-check ang output sa mga bata kung wala sila na idea, wala sila na ibawan in terms of ingana.
Oo, lagi kay agoy kung especially elementary kag secondary agoy. Mapugos kag kuan bisag dili nimo major.
Yang worst karon ma'am in terms of drawing subject ma'am is one semester na lang ilang duhan lang ka semester ilang drawing.
So wala na yung second year.
Wala na drawing 1 o drawing 2.
Oh, drawing one anto na lang.
Oo.
Oh, mao ba?
In which as of now, in my case, marag lisod gali kayo pag kuan sa mga bata, pagtudlo kay online class niya unsay imong itrabaho niya usa ka semana. Ang karon nga activity mahuman la usa ka semana, pila ra ka activity mahuman nila.
No, mao jud.
So, kini sila-
Unsa man na pag-submit, sir?
Ma'am?
Unsa man na pag-submit silang outputs?
Online
Mga
ma'am.
plates.
Online.
Online. Ilang scan?
Oh, napod sila video ma'am before, after og on process sila.
Oh, may kay na uy.
Murag vlog style ba?
Para nako it's good enough nga maningkamot sila and then what nagi reason kay na silang balay, they have their free time to do it, they have lots of time to reskill themselves, diba?
Oh, good. Para sa ani nila karon ma'am, swerte na kayo sila.
Bitaw. Oh, Jude. May nang experience uy.
At
Let's
least ba?
just take it positively.
Nay alternative nga paagi.
Nagingon nga naarag yun na sa estudyante. Naarag yun na sa estudyante. Okay.
Okay na, wala na may clarification.
Are you still there?
Wala na, sir.
Okay, at this point, I would like to conclude our
Wala,
session
sir,
this afternoon to be closed, no? So, by the way, before that, before I forgot, no, I would like to request everybody to open their camera or any kuan diha ninyong gigamit. Kamura o gitara.
Kamura. Pero ni Ron.
Hey, mag-TikTok ta.
Sir, kuan jud ni.
Ma'am,
Kuan kay pa na ebidensya.
lagi. Ma'am, by the way, your certificate will follow, ma'am.
Yes, thank you very
And
much.
also
I'm
your
looking
token
Thank
and
you,
an
Thank
honorario,
you
ma'am.
for this opportunity, Sir Wendell.
Yes, ma'am.
My pleasure, good.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you pod kayo, ma'am. Kay dili
Kay
mahimong
State College pa yan ni.
dili
Di ba
mahimong
ni basta ka PIT?
mao gyud. Dili mahimong kompleto nga among kuan ma'am OJT di ni sila ka graduate kun dili pud tungod nimo kay appeal man jud ka dito sa nakabutang sa program actually. So,
Ay, salamat.
oo. Dako kayo pod namo nga kuan ma'am nga wa minimo balibari bisan pa man sa kahigtik sa imong schedule.
Okay, good na. Paintan, bagi.
Lagi ma'am.
A lot to say.
Marag kog hilakon og popcorn pag say nimo yes, okay ra. Lagi ma'am. Kay actually ma'am lisod pagpatando og kuan ma'am ay speaker. Kay kasagaran ako gipang approach actually ang katong mga fresh grad no nga naanap
Oo.
trabaho mingon man sila nga sir mura magdili kaya. Padruingan lang pod mi. Okay, asan naman
Sige
inyong
lang,
camera?
Nagawa na miss camera naman, sir.
Ang uban wa pa. Magtugway para ba kuskabaw.
Sige, sir. Pasahin na itong picture, sir, ha? Kay tab mong na akong igamit. I can
Sige,
see
ma'am.
everybody.
Okay. Okay. In count of 3. Tanaw sa camera. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Ako sang itanaw ha. Kung okay na ba ni?
Kasi kita lang duha diha sir, how kaning usa ka estudyante nimo kani si Lowell.
Naman, Naggan man ma'am na. Nag-open man sila sa van, ma'am.
Oh, bitaw na ko ra mga kita kay.
Pwede na.
Ay, Jexy, oh, nakita na ko. Basta mo tingog, sila man ay mapin diri sa screen.
Sir, thank you, ma'am.
Pwede na mga sir?
Kadit lang ha, kadit ha. Akong baon kay sayang.
Muli man ko diha next week, sir. Thursday.
Oh, may noon, ma'am. Okay, next. Oh, kano lang, last na lang. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Pose gamay, tanaw sa camera. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Dagang salamat ninyo.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Ug man na po.
Okay,
Ma'am bro, salamat.
Salamat, ma'am.
Good luck, everyone.
Salamat kay ma'am. God bless, ma'am.
God bless. Till next.
God bless. Sige. Ayaw, ma'am. Hindi ko makita eh. Wala lagi naka-off mic.
Di ba, ina na, ikaw kita oh.
Sa ako, di man. Huwag mo ka nakikita nga rin.
Bata pa man ka, ma'am. Ako ani, ma'am. Natiguang na.
Ha? Sos.
Naupaw na kong
iwan
sugod,
pa na-
ma'am. Naupaw na kong sugod.
Ito lang sa kabuk.
Okay, tungod na sa obligasyon dong.
Lagi, ma'am. Duha naman kabuk anak.
Da, sige lang kay bata pa baya ka punan pa man na.
Napay gigatas.
Ay.
Ang duha kabuk gigatas,
Sige na
man.
kita na kwarta.
Sir, pwede na, sir.
Sige, pwede na.
Salamat. Salamat.
Sige.
Salamat, sir. Salamat, ma'am.
Ma'am, kuha niya tag Manulife, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Daoy dato na dyan ni siya kaayo ay. Naunsa naman niya akong gitype uy nagkuan.
Manulife or St. Peter, ma'am. Pwede ra.
Uy na ako St. Peter.
Manulife na lang.
Let's asa man ang Manulife?
Kuan, ma'am.
Ilam na ka
10 years.
gatos
10 years to pay na siya, ma'am. Then, ang iyang pinaka-main nga kuan is accidental death benefit, critical illness coverage, total disability waiver, o kanang retirement benefit ni, ma'am. Pwede ra ta kayo mag-proposal.
Ano yung monthly mahal mo kuno Manulife?
Pila edad ni mo ron, ma'am?
43.
Pwede ra ka na, tag 2K kapin.
2K ka pin every month?
Oh.
O,
Kaya.
tanaw ka man.
Kaya ra na, ma'am, eh. Pang
Kuya,
retirement
10
ni mo.
years.
10
10 years pa jud na.
Oh. Kaya ra na. Kay ang return mo gud na niya, ma'am, dili mabayaran, dili mabayad sa imong kon kay accidental death benefit gali niya is 1 month lang imo nga payment in case simbako na metabo covered na ka 600,000. Unya 3 months kasi mong pagbayad ma-found out nga nay sakit na kay 150 to 200,000. Unya kung ma-disable right after 6 consecutive months nga ma-found out nga na kay kuan na ma-disable simbako, total disability waiver, dili na ka magbayad sa imong payment. Only 10 years to pay right after pwede na mo i-consider nga retirement benefit.
10 years to pay.
Himo ta kag proposal, ma'am.
Ay, saoy.
Gamay ra bitaw na.
Ay, saoy. Ay, saoy niya, nagma-promote na ko.
Picture
Ay,
2 naman siguro.
na
2 na ka, ma'am? 3.
3.
Ayun, kanindot. Iban-iban ni ko na.
Ay,
Himo ta kag proposal i-present na ko nimo. Nya, ay lang sa kuan ka
Ay,
okay
sorry.
pero. Unsa tay birthday nimo, ma'am?
ay, secret. Ay, saoy. Ingon ko guna.
Ayo, butangan na para
Ikaw naman.
dili man ka
Ko na kay ka.
dili man nimo
May nakita
ma
mo.
dili man nimo ma-analyze or ma-review kung okay ba nimo or dili kung di ka matagag proposal.
Ah, sige. Sige, proposal naman ka ha.
Oh,
Sige.
birthday, ma'am.
June 1, 1978.
Hapit na mo di ay. June 1, 1978.
Mahal man gud naman yung life.
Di man kayo, ma'am.
Ikaw ba kay dato na kay daghan na kagiilad. Ano man yung life no?
Ha? 40 plus akong
Daghan na
kliyente.
kag na.
Mga 60 plus, ma'am.
Ano man yung life?
60 plus akong kliyente.
O imong Ha?
Oh.
Wala, tanawa na ni. Pila na ni income ani niya.
Wala man ma'am kay one yearly ra man ang kuan na. O kada kuan og nay mo kuha ba? Ato is pag-serve sa kuan kliyente.
Ang mabenefit ana ikaw ra jud. Tay ikaw mukuha ka no.
Oo.
Para na nimo.
Yes ma'am.
Para lagi on dili sa uban. Di ma-benefit
Actually,
imong bana.
oo. Maka-benefit na sila kung simbakog na may tabo na to. Sila may beneficiary. Oo.
Pero sa health,
Sa health kita mismo, kita nga plan holder.
kita ra.
Oo. Na pwede man na mo i-consider nga kuan ma'am, retirement benefit.
Sa mga oy.
Kung inig edad nimo og 65, ang sugod ka karon 40 plus mo edad to, right after na mahuman ka. So na retirement benefit.
Unsa man na?
Ha?
Unsa man ang benefit unsa na?
Retirement benefit ma'am. Nga inig edad nimo og 65.
Pila
Ha?
pila man imong ana.
Depende
sa imong contribution.
depende ma'am kay kung the more nga magdugay kag sugod, the more nga kuan ka. The more nga dugay balik mo ra bagsa ka nang para ba nagserbisyo ta
Kanang retirement.
o dugay
Kana
na ta
imong
nagsagot.
retirement o kana imong retirement benefit lump sum na siya. Lump sum na siya or
Yes ma'am.
mura sa na siya pension nimo murag pension?
Murag kuan ma'am, lamsam ra nam. Tingob.
O lump sum na siya.
Oo.
Tingob. Kana nagbenon oy. Sige, tayo lang ko proposal mo ora man ka.
I-send na ko nimo sa kuan ma'am sa Messenger.
Sige.
Nya mag-discuss ko nimo right after makuha ng proposal. Nya kuha na lang taga pinaka
Sige, uy.
bottom nga price na lang amount nga mo fit sa imong edad. Ang uban gali ma'am moabot nag 50 plus ang ilang monthly dako na kay ngano dool naman sila sa finishing line. Kay the more nga taas ang edad, the more nga taas ang appraisal sa insurance. Kay para ba sakyanan?
Ako tigwang naman ko dako na no ko bayran na.
Wa pa man bata pa man na ang ako og moabot nag 50 ma'am. Samot og kadako ni makauna na ka ba? Kay the more the earlier the better man kay the more nga bata pa ka ng imong kwarta taas pa og time para mag-grow kay investment man ni siya. At the same time life insurance sa company. So ang imong life insurance na siya investment at the same time na siya retirement benefit. Nga na siya. Lagi. Ang kuan gali ma'am bago ang kuan gali sa LTO gali nanguha gali sa kuan LTO. Sa LTO palumpon nanguha gali sila. Napagoy St. Peter, ganahan kag St. Peter. Actually ang St. Peter naapod siya insurance gapon. Paying period niya 5 years then kuan siya.
Na ko St. Peter's.
Mayo. Imo ba na ma'am?
And na ko St. Peter.
Okay ra. Ang Manulife na lang.
Niya.
Manulife na lang.
Ambot lang siya kung pagkos man New Life idol.
Ang Manulife na lang ma'am kay
Kay bawo. Ambot lang mo kay bawo.
na
Hindi mo
naman
na
kay
iko.
St. Peter.
Hindi mo na iko.
Kay dili man beto.
Sige, try lang good.
Oh. Kay kung nanaw kay cellphone, di na kang palit cellphone bago arin po kag line product, di ba? Mana ra po na kung nanaman kay St. Peter. Excuse, Manulife na po.
Para kuan retirement.
Retirement benefit na to. Hey ponday, wata kay ba
Ay,
na po'y bata nimo pohon di na kay pang educational plan.
Mao ba?
Or bisan og ganahan ka nga na dai mo'y ganahan nga ikuyog da sa inyong balay bata. So, pwede nimo siya ihatag sa iya ha as retirement benefit nimo or educational plan para niya. Kay mo man na siya gitawag og income protection. Sa ko amam namon ko ako nga policy. Policy may term ani di man ni plan. Sa ko misis ako nagbayad.
Among duha.
Ha?
Among duha apil mo.
Tulo ma'am sa akong anak.
Anak.
Kay
Imo pera nang tutok each.
kuan ma'am tag 1K kapin. 1.7 ako bata-bata
Bata
pa man.
pa mo.
Oh.
Oh, awa da ko na ning amo ron kay tiguwang naman.
Pwede ra na mamay. Pwede ra na. Taga na nagpaagi.
Ang baratuhon.
Actually, ang babae kay ubos mag-appraisal compare sa
Sige sir,
lalaki.
oy. Bye.
Oh, sige ma'am, sige. Salamat kayo ha.
Bye.
Sige ma'am, chat ko sa
Okay,
imo.
welcome.
Oo.
Communicate.
Mo
Sige, sige, sir.
tawag lang ko nimo or mo chat ko nimo regarding sa kuan pohon, imong katong sa token or sa katong kuan ba? Kato imong
Ay,
talent
sige.
fee.
Problem.
Ay, nauwi na siya talent fee.
Na oy, murag ang gibutang dito ma'am kay 2K ra ba to?
Nauwi na din ba yun nga na?
Na oy, plus certificate of
Hindi ka
recognition,
pa sa ko sa
appreciation.
certificate.
Yes ma'am.
Pero,
Okay ra lagi to.
Sir, wala
Ay.
kay signal.
Hello ma'am.
Sige, sir.
Okay, chat na lang ko ma'am.
Bye. Oh, sige, sige.
Sige,
Okay,
bye-bye.
babu.
God bless ma'am.